You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
U.S. Cellular has noticed the way we use our phones has gotten ironic. We try to put our phones down for dinner, but the menu's on a QR code. That's ironic. We hit like on social posts that we don't actually like, which is ironic. Which is why U.S. Cellular created Us Mode, to help us reconnect with each other and use our phones less ironically. A phone company wanting people to use their phones less is ironic. Let's find us again with Us Mode from U.S. Cellular. Visit uscellular.com/builtforus to get started.
School is back, and Dick's Sporting Goods has what you need to win your year. We've got everything from cleats to Sambas, dunks, and more. Plus, the hottest looks from Nike, Jordan, and Adidas. Find your first day fits in-store or online at dicks.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident panelist, as always, Ryan Schlip. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_dadam. Well, I am so glad it finally happened. I am so glad we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Am I actually glad? No, I'm kind of pissed, but that's to your benefit. This is all for your benefit. I don't, oh boy. I didn't think this would happen. I mean, I knew it would happen. I can't help it, man. I should just be excited and like, yay, we were back and we get to do these things again. But I'm so dumbfounded by how absolutely stupid everybody is. So I watched the Bears game. And essentially what I hoped would happen, happened. Listen, I praised Caleb Williams on that first outing. I did. The only thing I said is, and maybe this is where we differ, because I'm sorry, because some people in the audience probably fall into this, but I'm a little upset, so I'm going to use sharp language. Everybody's too stupid to realize the difference between a guy that can do some cool stuff and a good quarterback. And the fact that nobody has figured that out yet is shocking to me. Especially Bears fans. Justin Fields is special. Caleb Williams is special. Tyson Bagent, I'm looking at his highlights right now, pretty special. Everybody, I would venture to guess, that is an NFL quarterback to some degree is really special. Some have more special than others. Some have different kinds of special. Justin Fields did have a special arm, but it was mostly his legs. Caleb Williams has a special arm because he has a similar style as Mahomes. His ability to throw off platform and all that kind of stuff is special. There's no doubt about that. Jordan Love. And when I talked about Jordan Love, I told you that he has Pat Mahomes type special because he does. He has that kind of ability. But I never said, therefore, he's a good quarterback, because that's stupid. They're two different things. And nobody, not a Packers fan, not a Bears fan, not a single member of the media has been able to figure this out yet. Not one person has figured this out yet. And it's shocking to me that nobody has been able to decipher the difference between these two things, between being special and being a good quarterback. And I'm become convinced that what people want is special. Everybody wants Justin Fields. They don't want Tom Brady. I mean, they want the results of Tom Brady, but they want the special. They get excited about the special. How much hype there is right now, because Caleb Williams had maybe 3 kind of wow plays, which I think he did last week too. I'm trying to think maybe it's 2. One of them was an incomplete pass to Roma Dunze because he didn't think enough to actually stand inbounds when he caught the football. But according to Bears fans, you're not allowed to hype up incomplete passes, which is stupid, but based on their rules, that doesn't count. That was actually quite a good throw. Now, to be clear, Aaron Rodgers has made dozens of those throws. We've already seen Jordan Love make this throw. It's rolling to your right, throwing as you're moving, and throwing a dot at the end of the end zone. I mean, I could find probably every quarterback that started more than a season has probably thrown at least one of those. I'm talking an entire season. It's a good throw, but it's a rare thing. And it's not something you build a franchise around. You don't build a franchise around those throws. A traditional down to down. I mean, the amount of times we need a guy to make these types of throws is maybe 1 in 10, 15, 20. What really makes a good quarterback is what he does for those other 19 plays where I just need you to do the right thing consistently. Remember, we get 3 tries to get a first down. There's no guarantee on one of those 3 tries it's going to be this broken play where you're going to be spinning all around and going crazy. Everybody wants special. And as much as we watched Bears fans for years, and they would show a highlight of him running down the field and they'd start screaming about it. And it's like, dude, that's one play. And it wasn't even a throw. I don't understand what you're so excited about. Well, look at his highlights. Look at his highlights. Look at his highlights. You're missing it. I don't care if you have really good highlights. I don't. There is a quote from a very, very good movie called White Men Can't Jump. I'm not going to say the quote because people get very mad, but I'm going to alter the quote. If you know, you know. A Bears fan wants to look good first and win second. A Packers fan wants to win first and look good second. Caleb Williams had a bad outing. Let's be very serious about what exactly happened. The Chicago Bears scored 10 points against the Cincinnati Bengals backups. Caleb Williams was 6 of 13 for 75 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 64.6 passer rating. Tyson Bagent, as I'm looking at it right now, well, let's refresh because I think he's probably thrown some more passes. Tyson Bagent was 7 of 8 for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had half as many attempts. He had 10 more yards and 2 touchdowns compared to 0 touchdowns. Caleb Williams couldn't move the ball against backups with all the starters, the entire starting offensive line. All those 3 elite, quote-unquote, wide receivers were out there. How many passes did DJ Moore catch? 0? Oh, okay. Keenan Allen, 1 target, 0 receptions. Roma Dunze, 2 targets, 1 reception, 45 yards. That's it. That's it. And that's the one play. They get into the red zone, and Caleb couldn't punch it in there either. Not him or the rest of his receivers. Nobody could get it in. But he scrambled and got a touchdown, so that makes him great. Because why? Despite the fact that this was an embarrassment against a backup defense, in which you could not throw the ball into the end zone once, in which you went 4 and out and 3 and out and just could not move the ball at all against backups. Despite all of that, despite the errant throws over and over again, just missing people, despite all of that, he had the 45-yard pass while rolling to his left, which is difficult to do, but as I've posted on social media already, lots of quarterbacks can do it. In fact, I posted 2 plays, Justin Fields did it, rolling to his left and throwing to players. Remember that big play that Bears fans would always throw down our throat against Jair to show how trash Jair is? That's the exact same thing. He was under pressure, rolled out to his left, threw it down the field in tight coverage. These things happen, and that's Fields. He's garbage. Do you know how many of those there probably are that Aaron Rodgers has done or other quarterbacks that are elite to good to okay to bad? There's innumerable amounts of those. And then there was an incomplete pass out of the end zone. And then there was a very standard rushing play that, again, every quarter, I found highlights of that too, not even highlights. I found a clip of Rodgers and Stafford doing it because they're old and slow. And then for anybody that's like, oh yeah, way to put them in that elite company, I found 2 basically backups, Sam Howell and Joshua Dobbs, both doing it. So it doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't mean anything. The output was terrible and it should be concerning. You could not beat, if this was the actual Bengals, as in their starting offense and their starting defense, you would have got the crap beat out of you in this game. And Caleb would have looked terrible. But yeah, he had the one highlight reel. And that matters why. Because it's not about how good of an outing it was. We're not going to worry about the big picture. We're not going to worry about overall how did he do. We're not going to worry about the fact that not being able to move the ball against backups is concerning. We're not going to worry about that because we got our highlights. And we'd rather look good first and win second than win first and look good second, or whatever the stupid thing is. It's the reality. That's what they want. They want their flashy quarterback with the six-pack abs and their GM with the swagger and his collar popped. You know what I mean? That's what Bears fans want. Give me those highlight reels. The last thing in the world that they want is some stick in the mud pocket passer that's going to distribute the ball accurately and make the offense look good and actually win football games and convert first downs. And that's cool and all, but it's not this. Fine. Get your flashy plays. Congratulations, you got your flashy plays. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of them. Just like with Justin Fields, there was a lot of plays where he'd take off running. Was he a good quarterback? No. Would he hurt us a lot? Yes. Was he frustrating to play with his legs? Yes. Did it materialize into wins? No. You know why? Because there were not enough opportunities for that to be enough for you to win the game. What you need to do is be able to consistently down to down convert first downs. You need to be able to read a defense, find the open man, and throw it on time in rhythm. That's what quarterbacks need to do. You need to be able to manage pressure. You need to be able to communicate with the line. You need to, by the way, have a good supporting staff outside of just 3 receivers we went out and got. You need to have a coaching staff that can call plays and call the right plays at the right time. Do you have any of those things? I have no idea. Neither do Bears fans, but boy, oh boy, they got their one highlight reel and they're set. They're set. Oh, and I got to sit here and watch Packer fans get upset. This is the exact same thing that happened with Justin Fields. And I go out and I just make this very, very basic case that is just common sense. And what do I get? You get Bears fans who are saying their same old stupid stuff because they haven't learned a frickin' thing. You get Packer fans coming in going, oh, come on, man. Come on, don't be like that. You can be a Packer fan without being unbiased. Same freaking Packer fans who said the same thing about Justin Fields, who haven't learned a freaking thing. And then you got all the social media people. You got these former quarterbacks. And I'm so sick of people telling me, well, he used to play the game, so he's smart. Kurt Benkert goes on there and says that the Lions are going to come in third place because Caleb Williams played like dog crap and had a highlight reel play in there. One highlight reel play. And now the Bears are suddenly going to, what's his name? That goofy-looking guy that grew out his hair. He's on with Colin Cowherd all the time, whatever his name is. He said the Bears are going to win the NFC, and after this performance, he said, I just want to remind everybody I said it first. That's embarrassing that you said it the first time and then use this as an example of you being right. That's an embarrassment. You got Emmanuel Acho showing that one really special play. What does he say? Caleb Williams is just ridiculous. Chaos around him, off platform, off time. He throws a 42-yard touch pass. Dude is special. Okay, fair enough. He is special, and it was a special play. There's more to it than that. The problem is what he says later on. Congrats, Bears fans. Y'all deserve this. You've never had a 4,000-yard passer. You've never had 30-touchdown quarterback. You've only had one Pro Bowl quarterback since the 80s. Congrats, Bears. With Caleb Williams, you have it all. Your endurance has been rewarded. And he did that on a play in which Caleb didn't throw the ball. He didn't throw it. He ran for a touchdown on this play. And beyond that, he broke the rule of taking special and applying it to he's going to be a great quarterback, which is not the same thing. But it's amazing to me that he finds a play of a quarterback rushing for a touchdown, untouched. There was nothing special about it. He runs for a touchdown, untouched, and he goes out and lists all the passing statistics that he's going to have, despite the fact that he completed less than 50% of his passes and not even 80 yards and a half. And that's with half of his yards coming on one pass. And yet he's talking about guaranteed he's going to have over 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and be a Pro Bowl quarterback. Again, I have no issue trying to agree with Bears fans on this stuff, but it's so stupid. It's so stupid. The guy had a terrible day. And even if you want to blame everybody else, fine. But it's still his passing statistics against a backup defense. Oh, it's his offensive line's fault. He's a rookie. It's all That's what's going to happen week 1. He's going to have this offensive line. He's going to have the same wide receivers. He's going to have the same offensive play caller. He's just going to have a much harder defense to go up against. That's all. And this was at home. At home, with your own game plan built around you against a backup defense who is not even going to be in the NFL starting anytime soon. So forget about their defensive game plan. They don't even know what to do on the defense. Half of these guys got picked up 2 weeks ago, and they're going to get cut pretty soon. It's not hard. It's not hard. And yet here we are again. And again, because I know you people can't frickin' hear, I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I've never said anything of the like. I have concerns with Caleb because they've shown themselves under pressure, as well as just, you look at some of those high-pressure games in general where he just completely imploded. I don't know if he can be a quarterback, and he's never demonstrated it, ever. He hasn't had much opportunity to, right, if he played a whole game, but he got an entire half here, and he was not a quarterback. He was not. He was a special football player, but he was not a quarterback. He showed off a special arm, but he was not a quarterback. That's it. He showed off some special elusive ability on one play where he made a couple people miss in the backfield, which, again, most quarterbacks have done that, if not every single one of them that have played, give it a season or so. Looks like he made, 2 guys miss, and then ran for a touchdown. Sure, you can call that special if you want. It was a good play more so than a special play, but sure. But we've lost our freaking minds, and again, not saying bad, never said bad, never said he's not going to be. He could be the next Pat Mahomes. He might be the best quarterback in the history of the NFL. And who knows, maybe it'll happen next year. Maybe this year he'll be good, next year he'll be great. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is that everybody's conclusions after watching this game are stupid. If your conclusions are he's going to be a good quarterback, that's a stupid conclusion because we don't have that information. So I don't know. I'm oh boy, very, very annoying, right? And just as a final thing, I am worried about Caleb Williams, no doubt about it. I hold my breath every time he throws a football just because I don't want this to be a really cool play. I did the same thing for Fields, and I did the same thing for Trubisky. I'm going to do the same thing when we get a chance to watch J.J. McCarthy. All right? This is just the process you go through, right? And listen, eventually they're going to hit on a quarterback. I don't know if it's Caleb or if it's going to be the next guy or the next guy or the next guy. Unless a meteor comes and wipes us off the planet in the next 100 years or so, they're going to get one, right? And there's a decent chance he's not just going to be better than all the crap they've had. He's going to be really good. And again, maybe this is the guy. And if it is, we might be in trouble because when you pair good quarterback with special, that's when you get what everybody's envisioning this guy already is. I've said it before, but that's why Pat Mahomes is special. Not just because of the special. Not just I'm using the words interchangeably and loosely, which is confusing, but what makes Pat Mahomes what he is, what makes him maybe the best quarterback to ever play the game, isn't just the special. It's the fact that his special is the most special of all time, and he does it unbelievably consistently, and he also has all those other abilities to read a defense, to be really, really, really intelligent. Right? I mean, he is like a better version of Aaron Rodgers with Tom Brady's brain or something. Like that might be slightly overstating it, but it's just that's why he is the guy that he is. Caleb is not as special, in my opinion, as Pat Mahomes is. Maybe they're about the same. I don't know. But I don't believe that he is. You got Pat Mahomes now who's so bored with the sport, he's throwing behind the back passes, right? He's doing no-look passes. He's doing all this crazy stuff. And you want to look at him and be like, you're an idiot for doing that. But you know what? He's doing it, and it's working, and it's just like, whatever. I guess we'll just sit back and enjoy watching the greatness that is Pat Mahomes, I guess, whatever. So Caleb is not as good as Pat Mahomes, who, by the way, is on a team that is beatable, right? It's not like we're looking at the NFL going, well, we're never going to win because Pat Mahomes will never lose a Super Bowl. I mean, they're beatable. We beat them last year. And I don't think Caleb is as good as Pat Mahomes. And special as Pat Mahomes. But if he can be good, if he can be really, really, really intelligent and see the defense, and he's watched so much tape on the Green Bay Packers, he knows Halfley's tendencies, going on year 4 or whatever. He knows what they're going to do, and he sees a little look, and he changes the offense to just that right exact play. And then he gets the pass, and there's, there's no pressure because it's just a normal play. And he looks off the safety to look this way, and then boom, he comes back and he throws a perfect pass right on time in rhythm before the guy even comes open, before he even comes out of his break. The ball is out so that by the time the wide receiver rounds the corner, the ball's hitting him right in the chest. He takes it off in stride. That is the kind of thing. That might only be a 10-yard play, but that's the kind of thing that you have to pair. That's the kind of thing, by the way, that'll make you win football games. If you're just that, you're going to win a lot of football games. You're going to be a very successful quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. You might have a ceiling because you don't have the special, but you can win Super Bowls, you can win playoff games, you can do all the stuff. The special is just a little bit of something extra, right? It's like if you have cheesecake, like a really, really, really good cheesecake, the like strawberry drizzle with like the sliced strawberries and all the accoutrements around it, that's the special. The vast majority of the amazing that you're eating is not if you just ate, strawberries with some strawberry jam, not great. Cheesecake is better with it. But you would much rather have cheesecake by itself than strawberry jam by itself, right? Or whatever that syrup is that they put on there. Nobody wants to eat that. That's what Caleb is right now. He's chocolate sauce. He's, whipped cream with a little mint leaf and some nicely diced, very pretty looking strawberries. But is there a freaking cheesecake here or not? We don't have that yet. And again, if he ends up having the cheesecake, this is a fat guy analogy, leave me alone. If he ends up having the cheesecake, he's a good quarterback. But right now, we just got strawberry sauce. Right? That's it. That's all we saw. Whoop-de-frickin-do. And again, I go on social media and I see Packer fans like, oh, just admit it. Just admit it. Admit what? Admit what? It's okay to admit he might be good. Who is not? Show me one person that refuses to admit that he might be good. That's a fake thing. That's a straw man argument. That's nonsense. Nobody is saying that he can't be good or that he won't be good. Nobody's saying that. So why don't you say what you really mean, which is you think he's already good. And you're mad that some people are pointing out that he hasn't proven that yet. But you're too dishonest and intellectually lazy to just say it right. So you got to build up a straw man. It's nonsense. I don't have any problem admitting that he might be good, and neither does anybody else. I also admit that Bryce Young might be good someday, and Justin Fields might still be good, although the odds are like 0.0001%. Might is within the realm of possibility. Why don't we take a break? Starting to get less upset, so let's go find some clips of people talking about Justin Fields so I can lose my freaking mind. Take a break. We'll be right back.
U.S. Cellular has noticed the way we use our phones has gotten ironic. We try to put our phones down for dinner, but the menu's on a QR code. That's ironic. We hit like on social posts that we don't actually like, which is ironic. Which is why U.S. Cellular created Us Mode, to help us reconnect with each other and use our phones less ironically. A phone company wanting people to use their phones less is ironic. Let's find us again with Us Mode from U.S. Cellular. Visit uscellular.com/built for us to get started.
It's the most magical time of the year, and I'm not talking about Christmas. I'm talking about the NFL season. So make sure you're ready with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Get the most live NFL games all in one place. Right now, you can save $85 when you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket with YouTube TV. Sign up today at youtubetv.com/Spotify. Device and content restrictions apply. Discount applied to first 4 months of YouTube TV, then $72.99 a month. Ends August 29th. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. No refunds.
Want to teach your kids financial literacy, but not sure where to start? Greenlight can help. With Greenlight, parents can keep an eye on kids' spending and saving, while kids and teens use a card of their own to build money confidence. As a parent, you can send instant money transfers, set up chores, automate allowance, and more. It's a convenient way to run your household, customized to your family's needs, and the easy way to raise financially smart kids. Get started with Greenlight today and get your first month free at greenlight.com/Spotify.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the Vehicle Owner's Manual for important feature limitations and information.
All right, let's get this bullcrap over with. Here's CBS Sports HQ. Caleb Williams scores first touchdown, shines in second preseason start with the Bears. I just want to remind everybody, it's been 2 games. He has 1 touchdown, and it was not a passing touchdown. Okay, let's start there. This is also quite hilarious. Let's make sure that you can hear this here. Check, check, double check. Okay, here we go. This is how it starts.
NFL preseason action continuing on Saturday. And
I just want to be clear. When you heard that little swoosh sound, they put up a graphic. It says Caleb Williams preseason, Saturday versus Bengals. 6 of 13, 57%, which, sorry, that math ain't mathin' to me. How do you get 57% when you complete less than half of your passes? 6 of 12 would be 50%, 6 of 13 would be less. But okay. 75 passing yards. His longest pass was 42 yards, and he had 1 total touchdown. Notice it says total touchdown. So that's what it says, and that's not very good. If you extrapolate that over an entire game, you're talking, 12 completions for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns? I mean, the 2 touchdowns isn't terrible for a day, but when you factor in that almost all of that yardage came on 1 pass, might not even get to 150. But okay, so that was him on the day. Here's what they had to say about this graphic and what we're actually staring at with our own 2 freaking eyes.
For Chicago Bears, number 1 overall draft pick Caleb Williams, pretty good looking day. His second start in the preseason, 6 of 13 for 75 yards and a touchdown, a 7-yard rushing touchdown, as it turned out for Caleb. As the Bears,
this is an all-time gaslighting event. As I'm staring at 6 of 13 for 75 yards and 0 passing touchdowns, and a faulty stat that says he completed 57% of his passes, he's actively reading the stats out loud and saying, pretty good day there for Caleb, pretty good.
Once again, looked pretty good this time against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Once again. He had, barely 50% in his last game. I think total. I think right now he is 10 of 20. 10 of 20 in 2 games. And we have to hear once again he was pretty good. Now, granted, he was pretty decent in that last one. It wasn't consistent, but it's hard to be consistent when you only throw, 7 times? And 2 of those plays were pretty impressive. One of them was impressive on the order of half the NFL could make that throw at least. The other one, like I said, I still to this day think his most impressive one was that little flip to the running back on a screen. Most people won't agree because it didn't have the distance and all that stuff. Whatever. That to me was the most impressive one. But still, I'm looking at these stats and I have to hear, once again, pretty good day. 2-0 for Caleb, who's just killing it out there.
Let's welcome in former defensive lineman Lige Dusable, who, before we came on, was telling me he's pretty happy he didn't have to be out there chasing Caleb Williams around today. But Lige, just want to get your thoughts to start here. What did you think of what you saw from Williams on his second start in the preseason?
Yeah, Jeremy, a bit of a mixed bag. Last week, I thought home run debut by the young rookie going against the Buffalo Bills. Some of the things that I wanted to see was him operate from within the pocket. We knew how special he was outside of the pocket, but he was able to do that on that big third down completion to DJ Moore on 3rd and 12. Well, I felt in this game, Jeremy, he didn't operate as well in the pocket, and that tends to happen when you're a rookie quarterback. You're going to have some...
Thank you, Lige Dusable. Whatever. I don't know if I ever knew that's how you said his first name. I barely remember the guy, but it's like I don't remember ever calling a guy Lige. But I mean that's the right take, right? Week 1, he did all the fancy stuff that we knew he could do, but it was still cool. He did it. I thought it was a good job, and I wanted to see him work from within the pocket, and he didn't do that. Everything he did in this game was outside of the pocket stuff. At some point, he needs to stand in the pocket and be that dude, and we're just not seeing it. Doesn't mean he's bad. It just means I'm starting to get nervous that you just don't seem to be doing it, you know? But you probably can. You probably can do it. And I look forward to the day in which maybe you have a little bit more time to operate and can make these things happen. But as of right now, what is my assessment? Week 1, pretty good day. That was 4 of 7, 95 yards, 101.8 passer rating, and 13 rushing yards. And he did that in like one series, or I think it might have been 2. Now he got a whole half and was 6 of 13 for 75 yards, 64.6 passer rating, and 7 rushing yards. And I'm supposed to pretend it was a good outing? Again, I deliberately came out and said Caleb did a good job week 1 because I didn't want to seem biased. This is stupid. So yeah, mixed bag for sure. More concerning than not, though. If you had to err on one side, certainly more concerning than encouraging. And I'm gonna skip forward a little bit and play it from here because, again, I don't even disagree with any of this.
This is an offense that could be a top 10 offense depending on the development of Caleb Williams.
100%. 100. If Caleb Williams can be that pocket passer with the wide receivers they have, yeah, the offensive line is subpar. So is ours. So what? And there's questions about the offensive play calling. We'll see if it's good or bad or whatever. But there's no doubt in my mind, if Caleb can be peak Caleb, right? I think Jordan kind of hit peak Jordan last year. If Caleb can do that and early, I guess it doesn't matter. If at any point, then at that point they'll be a top 10 offense. Again, top 10 just means top third, and with a real top-end quarterback that he can be and the wide receivers, no question. I don't disagree with that at all. But as he said, you have to do it first. Anyways, let's take a break. We're at 30 minutes. I got something from CHGO, some of the biggest Bears homers that I'm aware of as far as, the YouTube space goes. You got that reporter, I forget his name, the guy that was stuffed into a locker by a former Bears player. Pretty hilarious stuff. Anyways, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Yep. 6 of 13, 75 passing yards, 7 rush yards, of course, on that rushing TD. And, this is one of those games where, we show you the numbers. We're always going to do that after the game. But, this is a trust your eyes game.
Bro, shut up. Don't worry about the stats. This is a trust your eyes game. Bro, I wouldn't trust your eyes to watch my freaking grass grow. All right? Trust your eyes. What do you know? Mr. Justin Fields is him. You don't know anything. Trust your eyes for what? Let me guess. You saw that one really cool play. Yes, and we've seen Fields throw great throws, and Trubisky threw great throws. Maybe it's not as good as Caleb. I don't know. Maybe he has even specialer. Fields was specialer than Trubisky. Maybe this guy's specialer than Fields. You know the funny thing about that? Trubisky was better than Fields. Being specialer doesn't necessarily mean anything. Trust your eyes. If you had any idea what to do with your eyes, you wouldn't be sitting here hyping this up. Oh, this is a trust your eyes game. Yes, he had one decent drive, which essentially culminated to one really nice looking pass, which I've already put online. People are like, oh, there's only like 3 or 4 guys that can make this pass. You got Mahomes, you got Herbert, and you got Josh Allen, and that's it. I went and found 2 plays where Jordan Love did it. I'm just freaking tired of it.
Because the funny thing about passer rating is Logan Blindside. Shout out to our guy Brad Spielberger for tweeting that in the middle of the game. His passer rating actually ended up being better than Caleb Williams in this football game. I think anybody who can watch football understands there's a big, giant difference there between the 2 quarterbacks. So I don't know how much the overall numbers really matter. Also,
that's a silly thing. Listen, if you want to say that it's not the be-all, end-all, that's fine. But you can't just make it seem like it's irrelevant. Well, I mean, we obviously know that Caleb is better than Woodside. Well, yeah, generally, which is why Caleb is probably going to have higher passer ratings most of the time. I can tell you this right now. If both of them went up against starting defenses in the NFL, let's say one played for one team and one played for the other, and let's just say Woodside had consistently higher passer ratings, I can promise you Woodside would be a better quarterback. There can be anomalies. There can be situations where you had a pretty good game, but it didn't necessarily show up. But the reason he didn't have a good passer rating wasn't because he was good. There wasn't an anomaly here. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I was going to say passer rating doesn't necessarily take into account how nice of a pass that was. It kind of does. Takes into account the distance of the pass. So that's most of it. The fact that you were rolling to your left and the fact that it was a tight window throw aren't necessarily accounted for in passer rating. But that's kind of minute when you factor in all the other incompletions, right? And you can say, well, one of them was a penalty. Okay, fine. And the idea that wasn't going to be overthrown because it was overthrown, but it wouldn't have been if he didn't get held. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't see it happen live. I don't know how much he got held. As far as I know, he ran full speed the whole time just because the guy had his arm around him. And then there was a broken up pass to DJ Moore. Yeah, because the ball was thrown behind. If he threw it out in front of him where DJ Moore had to extend his arms out and catch it that way, it probably would have been caught. Or if DJ Moore just didn't suck as a wide receiver. How about that? Up against, what, a 5th-round rookie or something? So, you know, again, I'm not going to sit here and bang the drum on, no, you must respect passer rating, but to just discount it and be like, well, I mean, here's a crap quarterback who had a better passer rating. Yeah, because he had a better day, dude. Jeez. By the way, I don't think I've emphasized enough the fact that these were backups for the Bengals, right? Backups for the Bengals. Just saying. These are number 2s and 3s. You never even saw the starting defense. Jeez. You know what else is funny? I'll play it since we're doing the playing thing. Let me play this for you real quick.
Fantastic play. But you talked about it, Rhett. The first few series, he struggled. It was a real slow burn into the final 4 minutes. But the 4-minute drill, situational football, is often one they're going to continue once the regular season starts.
I will say one of the things that annoys me about YouTube is most of the videos that you find are not actually like NFL or whatever network this is. It's somebody that ripped this off. And then because they don't want to get dinged for ripping it off, they have all those random cuts and everything else in there so the audio gets all messed up. But anyways, what they have been talking about is the fact that 4 drives in, he looked kind of like garbage. And then on the 5th one, on the 4-minute drill, which is 4 minutes left in the entire half, he came alive for 1 drive. For 1 drive. It's funny, you got Bears fans who are laughing like, "Oh, how did Jordan Love do in that practice against, the Broncos?" Well, it was bad mostly, but there were a couple decent drives in there, which apparently by your standard is all it takes. You can be trash for, Jordan basically, I don't know if he had a bad game last year. We talk about how the first half, which isn't really right, the first 8 games he struggled. No, he didn't. Not based on this standard. He plays a bad half and then comes out the second half and lights it up. By this standard, he's elite. Because it doesn't matter how bad you are. It only matters that you show at some point some level of being really good at stuff. That's all that matters. That's interesting. I didn't know that was the standard. I didn't know the standard for greatness was mostly suck, but occasionally put together some highlight reel stuff. Dang, if that's the case, I have nothing to worry about with Jordan. I was over here stressing that maybe the consistency would dip a little bit and we'd start to see some problems. Apparently, all we need are some special flashes, right? And so everybody talking about, oh, look at that pick that Jordan threw against the 49ers. Who gives a crap? It's 1 pick. It's 1 bad play. You know how many good plays he had? Lots. And that's what matters. It's not about the mistakes. It's not about the consistency. It's not about winning and losing. It's about at any point ever during a game, do you show an ability to be special? Like with 1 pass. Do you have 1 special pass? And if you do, then you're special, and that's a good thing. I'm just saying, I guess that's it. I guess that's all you have to do. And so all my critiques last year in training camp, Jordan always got off to a slow start, and then he picked it up, and it was kind of a nerve-wracking. I guess I had nothing to worry about, because as long as he showed up at the end, or on the final drive, or had any good drive at any point, it was good enough. That's all that matters. And it's hilarious. If you go on YouTube, they got a bunch of shorts. If you type in Caleb Williams, there's all these little short videos, and every single one of them has a title like this one, from Highlight Haven, says Caleb Williams dominates in preseason, and it's just that 1 play. It's a short of that 1 play with some title talking about how elite he was for the entire game, which is not accurate. Or something to the effect, one of them said Caleb has Offensive Rookie of the Year locked up because of 1 play. My goodness. By the way, if you're saying he had more than 1 highlight, you're likely talking about that pass to Rome Odunze when he was standing outside of the end zone for some unknown reason. I would just like it pointed out that although I don't disagree, Bears fans actually are not allowed to use that because of how much crap they gave Green Bay Packers fans for trying to use incomplete passes as evidence of being good. They are absolutely banned from ever talking about really, really impressive passes that end up incomplete. I will not ever allow Bears fans to use that as an example. They spent an entire year with this freaking meme about Packer fans saying, man, nobody hypes up an incomplete pass like Packer fans. So no, they do not get any credit for any incomplete passes. You don't get credit for the pass to DJ Moore that got broken up. You don't get credit on that pass that the guy got held and it was incomplete. You don't get credit for the pass to Rome Odunze because you don't think, not because I don't think, but because you don't think that those count as really good passes. Because you spent an entire year pretending to be stupid, now I'm going to treat you like you're stupid. So look, going through, I'm encouraged to some degree to hear most of the content creators saying things along the lines of, look, it was up and down, very exciting, but, we'll see. That's the right take. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes for me to not get annoyed with you, is to just be like, it was a little rough, certainly need better than that, but man, you got to be excited about his ability. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. No argument here whatsoever. But I'm not doing this bull crap where we have to listen to he's him for another 3 years while the guy accomplishes nothing.